I'm raising money for the ACS Run for the Cure event this Saturday. Would you like to sponsor me?
Do you mean for the American Cancer Society?
Canker? What do you mean, canker?
Just roll with me.
But you called it the American Cancer Society.
You know, this entire video is a spoof, a satire.
I wasn't trying to be funny.
You're a cartoon on a screen, talking like a robot named Sally.
Oh, I forgot.
Now, where were we? Ah yes, the Cancer Society. Do you have an open mind?
Yes, I do.
Good, because I'm going to let you in on a lot of things that the public doesn't know about the Cancer Society. Then you can make up your own mind. Personally, I'd like to see all their funds dry up.
Like what? Why?
How long has the Cancer Society been looking for a cure? Since 1944. In 2008, they raised $1 billion from good people like you. Tell me, how many cancer patients did that $1 billion cure today?
None?
That's right. In 67 years the American Cancer Society hasn't cured one person despite raising billions of dollars.
Well, they are working hard finding a cure.
That is their image, I'll grant you that.
Are you saying their image isn't real? I know so many people who support it. 10 people have already sponsored me. How could they all be wrong and you be right?
That is part of their game, you know, power through popularity.
I'm not following you. What do you mean when you say, power through popularity?
It's a well-known tactic in fundraising. Fundraisers know that if they can get you to give even a small amount of money, say $5, you will become an advocate for them. The American Cancer Society has wildly succeeded in doing that by getting millions of people to give small amounts of money. They call these advocates sponsors.
Yeah. Go on.
So it means they have millions of advocates. Giving to what you believe is a worthy cause gives a person a great feeling. The American Cancer Society takes advantage of those good feelings for their own purposes.
Well, so what? The people who give their money and feel good should feel good. They are helping to fight cancer.
Are they?
Are you going to say they aren't?
Do you still have your open mind?
Yeah, but...
Oh, the butt monkey.
Geez, what is a butt monkey?
A butt monkey means everything in a sentence that comes before the word but gets cancelled out. So, if you say you have an open mind, but, then it means your mind isn't really open.
Okay.
So, I was going to share with you how the American Cancer Society is actually doing the opposite of what they claim. They're really working against real cures while pretending to be working for them. Are you open to discovering something you didn't know before?
Sure. Go ahead.
The Cancer Society puts out a little magazine that goes out to doctors each month. They rarely talk about the magazine to the public. In that magazine, they have smeared innovative cancer doctors and cancer cures. They have gone out of their way to ruin the reputations of numerous brilliant physicians in this way.
Well, maybe those doctors needed to be smeared. Maybe they didn't have a cure.
For sure, that is what the Cancer Society would like you to believe. But it is not true. The Cancer Society doesn't actually test the methods that they smear.
What do you mean? Are you saying they don't test them in a lab or in people?
That's right, they don't do either one. Their research, such that it is, consists of little more than coffee klatch talk. They print rumors. They have even printed false information about treatments because they are so ignorant of what the real treatment is.
Okay, so what?
Do you remember when I mentioned the power of popularity?
Yes, I do.
Practically everyone mistakenly believes that whatever the Cancer Society says is the gospel truth. So whatever they say is accepted at face value without question. They have tens of millions of advocates from judges on down to sanitation workers who are staunch defenders of the American Cancer Society. Their supporters also include the American Medical Association, doctors and hospitals.
Go on.
So when the Cancer Society sends out its tiny magazine to doctors and hospitals smearing a real cure for cancer, it makes that cure untouchable by any doctor who wants to keep his license. I am not making this up. I could tell you story after story where this very thing has happened.
Really? Can you give me an example?
Sure. Dr. Emanuel Ravici has repeatedly suffered from the Cancer Society broadsides. The first time they attacked him, the local Cancer Society reprinted the spurious article and sent copies to every doctor and hospital in New York City where Ravici was practicing. No doctor would send him a referral after that for fear of being sued or worse.
Are you sure? This is all crazy.
Patients still come to the Ravici clinic because the patients have learned about other patients he has cured. His clinic continues only because the clinic gets such good results. But doctors still won't refer patients to the clinic due to the Cancer Society's 50-year smear campaign against him. He is far from the only doctor who has been treated this way by the Cancer Society.
Why would the Cancer Society do that?
That's a good question. The American Cancer Society was founded by the president of a major cancer drug company. The Cancer Society has been friends with the chemo makers ever since. They get along famously. The president gave the Cancer Society some of the royalty rights to 5-FU, which is a cancer drug that nurses call 5 feet under, because that is where you are likely to end up if it is given to you.
That's awful.
The drug companies used to run ads regularly in the Cankers magazine for their toxic drugs. But now the Cankers have a better way to raise money and sponsors.
Such as?
It is the Run, Walk and Bike for the Cure campaigns. Those are their best campaigns ever. Did you notice that they don't ask for donations? They ask for sponsors.
Yeah, that's what they told me to say.
You see, they don't just want your money, they want you to become Cancer Society advocates. They'll even get children involved to turn them into early believers.
I see what you mean.
The goal of the Cankers isn't just to raise money. Far from it. You are the real target they are shooting for. The Cankers' goal is to funnel as many people as they can into getting mammographies, prostate tests, pap smears and the like. From those tests, they find new cancer patients for their clients. The American Cancer Society is really the advertising arm for the drug and radiation manufacturers. By collecting $1 billion in donations from their advocates, that is, you, their advertising is paid for by a duped public. The Cankers scheme is ingenious when you think about it.
Again, I see what you mean, but don't those tests save lives?
Not according to the research. On the plus side, a mammogram adds 4 days to a woman's life, not counting the added risk of cancer that the test brings. In other words, instead of dying on Monday, you'll live until Friday. Meanwhile, the test increases your risk of getting cancer. What the test does is spot what I call cancer profit centers, otherwise known as patients. It creates more women with cancer who will then live 4 days longer. It doesn't benefit the woman, but it sure does benefit the doctors and the drug companies.
What about prostate tests?
The research indicates that men live no longer if they are treated for prostate cancer than if they are left untreated. But they do risk suffering a lot more if treated.
And pap smears, what about those?
Many abnormal pap smears will return to normal if left untreated. But let's say you don't want to take that risk. It brings us back to the innovative cancer doctors that the Cancer Society smears. If a person has an abnormal mammogram, prostate or pap smear result, your doctor will not recommend you to one of the doctors who actually knows how to reverse cancer successfully. It is the American Cancer Society who is mostly responsible for your lack of access to those good doctors.
So you don't care much for the American Cancer Society, do you?
How could I advocate for them? How could anyone who knows what has been hidden from them for so long? The Cancer Societies are probably responsible for more cancer suffering than any other person or organization in existence. So I beg of you, please don't give them a dime. Every dollar they get, and every advocate they add means a greater delay in making the effective cures that are already available on a limited basis to become available everywhere.
It's that important to you?
Yup. Back in 1961, the American Cancer Society had the opportunity to make doctors nationwide aware of some astounding breakthroughs in the fight against cancer and cancer pain. That was 50 years ago as we speak. Instead of informing the nation's doctors of the incredible discoveries that had been made, the Cankers went the other way, to the dark side. They crushed the doctor's reputation and poisoned the minds of 120,000 physicians and hospital administrators with their dirty little pocket magazine that had an advertisement for chemo on the back cover.
Are you kidding me?
If only I were kidding. No. Not in the least bit. An average of 300,000 cancer patients have died each year since then in the US alone. Many more suffer each year from gut-wrenching pain. Multiply all that suffering by 50 years. The breakthroughs wouldn't have saved everyone's life, but it could have dramatically reduced their pain in almost every case. So it is fair to say that the cancer societies have brought more pain to more people in the last 50 years than any other do-gooder organization in the world.
You have opened my eyes. What can I do now to really help cancer patients?
Watch the next video. It is much shorter.